Hey there and happy Wednesday. It is a beautiful day in Sydney, Australia, and today I'm going to share with you my 6 simple secrets to rocking your online store. Now, it's very casual here today because we are in the school holidays. I've got my Teach Everything You Know t-shirt on, and that is what I'm here to do today. Now, remember, I love it when you guys have questions, so feel free to jump in and ask any questions that you might have about the subject because, hey, that's what I'm here for. Okay, so 6 simple strategies in order to rock your online store. Well, they're not rocket science. I say this all the time. When it comes to marketing, it is often not rocket science. It is about knowing what works for your store. So let's just quickly work out, talk about, being an online store. When people put together an online store, they often think that just by having it there, they're going to get sales. But that is not always the reality. If you've got an online store, you know that sometimes it is really difficult to get traffic and it's really difficult to get conversion. So there's 2 parts of the equation. The first one is getting people to your website, so getting them to even know about your product. And the second one is converting them into customers. So I thought I would share today with you some simple strategies. They don't cost any money in order to get the sales, in order to we're talking about conversions here more than getting traffic to your store. So we're going to focus on the latter part, which is making the sales. So I've got 6 things that you can do today in order to get more sales and rock your online store. So here we go. The first one is to provide a detailed product description. Now, when you utilize the manufacturer's description, I know it's a simple, quick, easy way to get your products up and onto your website. And that's okay at the beginning because, done is better than perfect. Having it up there, at least people can buy them. But standard descriptions hold you back in a couple of ways. Firstly, the Google gods prefer it if you've got fresh content. You're going to rank higher in searches than other stores that simply copied and pasted those manufacturers' descriptions. And secondly, by customizing your product descriptions, you're going to be in a better position to move that customer one step closer to buying. Now, if you've been listening over the last few weeks, we talked about how to be a copywriting ninja and sales funnels. So I'll link to those both in the show notes because those are both really handy and work really well with this episode. So if you have a customized product description, you're doing one better than everyone else because if every other website has got the same picture and the same description, then the customer only has one thing left to choose on, and that's price. And we are not about competing on price here if you are bringing business to retailer. Okay, so first one is to provide detailed product descriptions. Now, the second one is to cover off all the objections. When you've got a bricks and mortar shop front, you can, you've got a luxury. You're in a better position to listen to any questions and objections that may come up, and you've got a chance to address them. But online, you don't always have that luxury. So by integrating a review plugin, you'll have instant access to any objections, any questions, and any barriers that may stop your customer from purchasing. But don't be passive. It is up to you to regularly check through those reviews and amend or update your product descriptions where needed so that your customers don't have to go sifting through your site for answers. The whole idea is you want to drop down any barriers to the sale, any barriers to putting it in the cart and checking out. So if you can, you can. You don't know if you can, you can. Going through those reviews will actually allow you to pick out any of the objections, any comments, maybe something ran small, something ran big, the color isn't quite true on the image that the supplier has sent you. Put that in the product description. Don't make your customers hunt around for the information that will make them choose to buy the product. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3 is to think like a search engine. Now, when you combine those first 2 strategies of customizing the product descriptions and covering off all the objections, you're going to be moving towards thinking like a search engine. By incorporating short and long tail search terms or keyword phrases, you know what these things are called, the SEO stuff, into the general flow of the product description. So not just kind of whacking really weird sentences in, you actually have to integrate them, incorporate them into the product description. You'll be bringing more traffic to your site. Yay! And more traffic is always a great place to start increasing sales. So whilst I said we were focusing on conversions, when you're doing those product descriptions and you start thinking a little bit like a search engine and researching the search terms and search phrases that your customers are looking at for those products, then you have the ability to integrate them into the product description, which brings more traffic, more customers, more sales. Okay, number 4. I think we're up to 4. I really should number these. Is to be navigable. Now, have you ever walked into a store and you just don't know where to go? You just don't know how to find that thing that you're looking for. And, if you're like me, it's really frustrating, it's time consuming, and if it's just too hard, you will walk out and not come back. Well, the same thing happens in an e-commerce store. Every click that an online shopper has to make in order to get to what they're looking for is one step closer to the close tab button. And if everyone remembers difficult sites, then you don't want to be the top of that list. It is not something you want to be remembered for. Make it easy for people to shop around your site. Think about the navigation on your site. Okay, and number 5 is to be contactable. Now, nothing shouts amateur more than a lack of contact details on your website. And, if you're like me, a lot of customers just won't buy if they don't trust that your site is reputable. Customers want to know that if something goes wrong, that there's a way to contact you. Now, as an added bonus, by incorporating a live chat feature, you'll find that customer conversions will increase because questions are being answered in the moment. And when you can do that, when your customer is still in the buying mindset, bang, that is when they go add to cart and straight through checkout. So having a live chat feature, whilst you have to man it, so you need to work out whether this is possible for you, is it something that you need to outsource? Having that live chat feature will probably get you more sales, more conversions, which is what we're talking about today, because you can answer those objections. And remember, go back to number 2. And if you find a question that comes up repeatedly, add that into the product description. Okay, and number 6 is my favorite. Well, the excitement that comes with buying online. As a customer, you can't wait to get that parcel with all of your goodies inside. Keeping every order updated from picking to packing, from shipping right through to delivery is over-delivering, completely pun intended. And keeping over-delivering where your parcel is at, or where your customer's parcel is at, is a surefire way to wow your customers. And it cuts back on those dreaded emails that you get with people like, hey, where's my parcel? Gone are the days of getting sales simply because you've got a website and an e-commerce store. Now, just like a shop front, online stores take work in order to get sales. By implementing those 6 strategies, you'll be well on your way to getting more traffic and, more importantly, more conversions, which simply put is more customers and more money into your virtual cash register. So do you have any questions on those 6 strategies that will easily help you rock your online store? If you do, pop them in the comments below and I am more than happy to answer them. I'm here for a couple of minutes. One of the things that keeps me going back to an online store is a combination of those things. So to write this episode, I was thinking of all the stores that I love going to, and I was like, why do I like these stores? Apart from the fact that they're often pretty, and they have the stuff that I like. I love the fact that I can get my way around them and that, I can look at the product description. If we're talking clothing, it tells me how long it is, whether it runs small, whether it runs large, whether it's great for my shape is a good one. As someone with an hourglass shape, it's really sometimes hard to get clothes that fit. So having as much information in those product descriptions as possible is going to help you get the sale. Promise me. I promise you it will. So do you have any questions? I'll just quickly recap those 6 strategies. I've got them written down here so I didn't forget them. Number 1, provide the detailed product description. Now that, as I said, ties perfectly well in with the how to become a copywriting ninja episode that we did a few weeks ago. So I'll link to that in the show notes. If you're listening live at 12:30 on a Wednesday, Sydney, Australia time, then I'll pop them in the comments below. But if you're listening to this a little bit later on the podcast, then I'll pop that episode into the show notes, and also the one about sales funnels. So number 1, provide a detailed product description of your own making. Number 2, cover off on all objections that you can, possibly figure that might come up about the product. Number 3, think like a search engine. Number 4, be navigable. Number 5, be contactable. And number 6, keep your delivery info updated and over-deliver when it comes to parcel tracking. Okay, so I hope that has been really, really helpful, and you can take those 6 strategies today and go and implement so that you can rock your online store. You can get more traffic and more conversions. So until next week, be profitable. This episode is brought to you by my new resource, the 5-minute hack to make you a copywriting ninja. If you have an online store, then this is for you. It will show you exactly how you can update your product descriptions in order to make more sales. Download it for free at selenaknight.com/ninja.